the talk we made in earlier modules, we said that there are certain stereotypes about intermarriages, cross-cultural marriages. So, how can we save these relationships? And how can we develop a new identity? How can we cross national identity so that this stereotyping of problem could be overcome? So, here we will talk about those procedures, those strategies, methods which would help us to do this, which would help us to overcome these stereotypes. We will see how cross-cultural couples, they develop similarity and they overcome differences. The only way out is that similarities should be highlighted and differences should be suppressed. Only then national barriers can be eliminated, at least mentally. 3 strategies are used for this purpose by the couples, cross-cultural couples. Number 1, similarities are given more importance than differences in the two countries. Whenever they talk more about similarities. For example, Turkey and Pakistanis. Now, these days we don't pronounce it Turkey. In Urdu they call it Turkiye, and it is spelled as I have done here, and we will pronounce it as Turkiye. Turkey and Pakistani marriages in Turkey and Pakistan, they have almost similar norms. Largely they have similar norms, except one thing that is at least observed in their dramas, that is friendship before marriage. So, this is not accepted, at least in Pakistani society. Second strategy is, so if the couples are from these two countries, one person is from Turkey, the other from Pakistani, so they would talk about their similarities. Second strategy is, similarity between the couples' cultures is greater than the difference from some other cultures. Whenever they talk, they say that our similarity, for example, here between Turkish culture and Pakistani culture is far greater than the difference between Turkey and some other culture, or between Pakistan and with other culture. For example, similarity in marriage norms of Turkey and Pakistan is much greater than the difference in marriage norms of Hindu and Turk cultures. So, this difference is greater than similarity, right? So, second strategy is that they should talk about the similarity that is greater than the difference, and number 2, they should talk more about similarity and less about difference, and number 3, and that would come later, but still this point continues, cultural difference or distance. How we understand that there is difference so that we avoid it, we talk about it less, or how we compare difference with similarity. First of all, at least we should have some measure of difference. So, that's why I postponed the third strategy that would come in some other module. First of all, we need to explain this point. So, cultural difference or distance, this is measured by shock. And what is shock? Feeling of surprise at something unpleasant. Cultural similarity or proximity or closeness doesn't produce shock. You will not be surprised. So, if this is the case, then your culture is similar. So, presence or absence of shock, it will tell you whether your culture is similar or different. If you feel shock, if you are surprised, so then it means your culture is different. The couples first talk of similarity. Whenever the couples sit and they talk, they start with similarity and later they talk about difference, if any. If they want to talk about that, differences would definitely be there, but if they like, they would talk about differences last. Similarity is mentioned to show more closeness of the cultures of bilingual and cross-cultural couples. Now, to understand this point, to understand these two strategies, I would quote some dialogues from Dr. Pillar's research. So, in this dialogue that is coming now, one of the couple is from Swabian, a German territory, and the other person is from Ireland. Jake, I think Irish and Swabian cultures are close, that they, they are close enough. Jill, maybe I learned a few things about Ireland that I didn't know about. So, they are talking about closeness. So, their talk begins with mention of closeness and similarities. So, this is, and Jack, it's not like you are Arabian or anything. It means we are not as much different as you and some Arabian. So, this is the second strategy I talked about. Jill says, yeah. Now, another dialogue. This dialogue shows interfaith marriage is more distant than the same faith marriage. This is another angle about intermarriage, that if people belong to two different faiths, two different cultures and languages, this is the third dimension. If their faith is also different or same, so then what happens? One of the couple here in this dialogue that I will show you, Rita is from Germany and the other is Jens, he is from Denmark, and both are Christians. So, here the faith is the same, but countries are different. So, Rita, and does the fact that you are a bilingual and cross-cultural couple influence your relationship? Well, what do you think, Jen? He asked from Jens, whether being bilingual, speaking two different languages and belonging to two different countries have any influence on our relationship? So, I think it doesn't too much. She herself answers that it doesn't matter because I am from northern Germany and Jens from southern Denmark and cultures are very similar. Okay, later on she mentions here that you will read this dialogue in your reader. I have included it in your material. For example, about faith, she says that, yeah, and see here, line number 22, Jens, no, we have the same, what you call the same faith too. This is the point I wanted your attention to. We have the same faith, we had the same, so we had the same holidays, like we celebrate Christmas. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, it's not that we are married to a Muslim who is completely different from us. This is the second strategy I discussed, that you compare your similarity with your difference from others. But sometimes, other than the couples, parents are also involved. You are highlighting similarities and you are downplaying differences. But what happens? Sometimes in such marriages, parents are also involved and they again highlight differences. Okay. No, it depends how much influence parents can exert on your decision. We conclude that joint cultural identity of bilingual couples is possible when the are couple and their parents, they are willing to give more importance to similarities than differences.